Well, guess what? Slobs is here again, and guess who's back? Me, Steph Tolev. I'm here. I've been away for so long.
Old Steffi T in the building.
Yeah, I'm here for
Direct
one day, and I leave again. I just flew in.
I mean,
I'm unwell. For those who are going to watch these clips, I will be wearing sunglasses because I have not stopped crying in 5 days straight. Here's the thing. Let's give a light update.
Yeah.
I went from having the craziest week of my life.
Yeah.
I not only opened for Bill Burr, I fucking killed, and I can say that successfully now, I fucking killed in front of 19,000 people.
Which, for those who don't know, Steph doesn't just flagrantly say she killed. Like, she fucking killed.
I didn't know I did until everyone was commenting after all this stuff. Also, when you're on stage, you feel crazy. With that amount of people, everyone's like, you're going to feel the laughs. I'm like, I didn't feel anything. I felt like I was in a fucking outer space. I'm like, I'm not where I am. Yeah. I was also sleep deprived the first day I got there because I drove from Virginia for a college gig that was a bit of a nightmare. Jesus. Drove through fucking sleek. Oh no, it was a nightmare.
That's like a 10-hour drive?
Also, another comic said this, and I want to ask you guys, I thought it was so offensive. They messaged me like, oh, how'd it feel in front of that many people? Did you hear all like the applause breaks and laughs? I'm like, no, not really. And they went, I did when I did it.
Shut up.
Like, I'm trash and I didn't do well. I'm like, bitch, I did fucking well, and I'll bury your ass any day of the week, and I'll tell you who it is after.
You heard the laughs. I guess you hadn't transcended into another level of consciousness.
Yeah, literally.
You murdered.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you didn't rise into the next dimension. That's a little embarrassing for you.
Yeah. I was like,
What do you want,
okay.
I went to space.
I was not myself. And having my sister and my dad backstage, I was just like, I wasn't well. I was, it's my hometown. It was like a big I was dissociated. It was a big ordeal.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Amazing. Then I hung out with Bill. I hung out with Bill Burr. He texted me in the day. We hit a day.
You guys went to the hockey museum.
The Hockey Hall of Fame.
That picture of you learning how to drum, him teaching you how to drum, was the cutest thing.
It was crazy.
You were so happy.
I played drums on the Air Canada Center stage, like the big stage. Someone came and said drum kit. Also, I don't play drums. I haven't played since 24. He's like, all right, you have fun. You can just play for like 20 minutes now. I'm like, I don't play drums. Why am I here right now? I'm like, like, when you see like a kid just when he gets
banging shit?
Nothing. I'm like playing nothing. Then I go to the cottage. It's a weekend with me and my sister. We have not had a weekend, just the two of us, since she's been in relationships, since I've been in relationships years ago. What was those?
This is big.
So we're having a day. We're playing cornhole at the neighbor's cottage. There's a bit of a cornhole tournament going on. We're drinking big batch of sangria. I made it pretty strong.
You made sangria red?
Yeah, she made me mimosas for in the morning to get us it was a nice celebration.
You guys make each other drinks for different
we had whatever.
Yeah.
We had nice dinner, wine with dinner, smoked a huge joint. I'm painting a picture here. Around 9:30, my dog starts doing this weird thing where it looks like she's gagging, where she's like going, and I'm like, the fuck is that? And I we know our pet's well. If your cat does something weird, you're like, what the fuck is that? It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Keeps doing it every 30 seconds. I'm like, something's up. So thank God, Julia, my fucking vet that I used to have from Mohawk Alley in Los Angeles, who now moved to New York. Praise be this woman. I owe her my life.
Thank you, Julia.
I sent her a video, and I call her at 11 o'clock at night. So it's 11 o'clock her time. She has a fucking baby. She answers the phone. I'm like, what is this? She goes, no, take her in right now. And I'm like, okay. The closest vet is an hour and a half away. And as I mentioned, we were not sober is the term I'll use.
Jesus, yeah.
So I can't drive now because Julia said that her stomach could have turned. So now I think my dogs, this happens with Goldens, their stomachs turn. If they don't get surgery right away, they die. So now I'm in the car, eyeballs out to here, sobbing. We get to the fucking vet now, and my sister white knuckling down these crazy windy roads in the middle of the woods.
In the middle of the woods, you're just drunk as fuck.
Oh yeah, 11 o'clock at night. Fucked. We were fucking freaking out. No other option. Everybody else in the lake is drunk. My dad's not there. No one's there. There's no other option.
You would do what you had to do.
It was your fucking kid. This is what you do. There's no ambulances. There's no vets. This is it.
Thankfully, it's an empty area.
Yes.
So at least
we passed maybe two cars, and my sister shockingly best. I'm like, you're driving better now than you ever have.
Maybe the scaring shock of the dog sobered her up.
Yeah,
you know
the adrenaline.
So we get to the vet, and I'm flipping the fuck out.
Of course.
Take her in. They think she ate something. So they do X-rays. Like, there's nothing in her there's nothing in her rib cage, but we'll check her throat because it looks a little bit scratchy in there. I go, okay. 2 hours go by. So now we wait 2.5 hours. My sister's passed out in the back. I get a call, totally different tone in her voice. She goes, hi. And I go, hello. She goes, so your dog has pneumonia. And I'm like, excuse me? She goes, she has a lot of water in her lungs and we need to put her on a breathing tube. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're putting my 3-year-old golden retriever on a breathing tube because she swam too much? What the fuck are you talking about right now? Like, literally, my dog loves the water. She's always in the water.
Yeah,
she's
she's a
nonstop.
golden. Every golden is like a whore for water.
Yeah, literally, she fucking sucks it back. So she apparently was drinking too much water while she swam, and I guess the lake water, too much of it causes a bacterial infection. So she has something called anasphyxiated pneumonia or something like that, whatever the exact term is. They had to keep her overnight. I did not hear from them till like 8 a.m. the next morning. I called them like, hey, I'm like, sorry, my dog's overnight. I need to hear an update. We can't give you an update till 10 a.m. I go, you're giving me an update. I haven't stopped to wink. I was like,
you're there, my dog's
sobbing.
there. Give me a fucking update.
Also,
Look at my dog. Tell me what you see.
Also, the only thing that's made me laugh this whole time is that like I didn't realize that I cry like a little bitch. Like I sound like this, but when I cry, I'm like, like it's such an opposite. Like if you think I cry like, ugh, I'm like such a little, like even my sister was like, are you crying right now? I can't tell. I'm like, yeah, this is how I cry, like a little fucking bitch baby. Like, you know, he's like a cartoon when they like wipe their eyes like that. Like that's how I was crying. I was crying in my parents' dog, sobbing all over like a psychopath. 10 a.m. I got a new doctor. She's like, hi, she's breathing on her own now. This is a very good sign. I'm like, okay. I'm like, is it good? She goes, it's positive. I'm like, someone tell me it's fucking good.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Long story short, around 2 p.m. she calls me. She goes, we did the tests. She's looking good. She can go home on antibiotics. So great. So I bring her home. So I'm at parents' house. We were supposed to fly home that morning. I changed the flight. Was the vet bill $3,000? Yeah. Was the flight $500 to change? Yeah, it was. So I'm like, okay, we changed the flight, whatever.
They charge you to change a flight?
$500.
Even with COVID still happening?
$500 to change the flight. Yeah, because it was within like Air Canada, you fucking assholes.
Oh, yeah.
So stop with the French Air Canada. There's not one French person on the plane. So fucking annoying way to hear that bullshit.
And if there is, they speak fucking English too.
Yeah.
Like,
otherwise,
stop.
they wouldn't come to Canada.
And whatever the flight attendants do they really like to show off, like, and they have this full accent. I'm like, stop. We took the same
anyone
French in
can say
grade
cafe
10.
ute. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, literally. So I bring her home. So yesterday, I'm flying this morning at fucking 8 a.m. whatever, and she's barfed like 4 times, and I'm like, that's a lot of barf. And by the 3rd time, it's like her breakfast came up, and I'm like, something's up. Again, I call my vet. But Julia's like, I owe her this $1,000. I call her, and she goes, she should not be vomiting. If she has pneumonia, take her in right now. Of course, every vet in Toronto won't take me in except the emergency one, so I have to drive. Thank God it was close. 20 minutes. This emergency one. They were super nice. Took her in right away. They're like, there's no vomit in her lungs. We can hear fine breathing. But then they came out and she's like, yeah, we gave her one of the pills that gave her like an allergic reaction. And she's vomiting, so she can't do that.
Kidding?
And I was like, okay. But I was like, oh, well, we're flying tomorrow. She goes, you're flying? And I'm like, the dog's getting on the plane. She goes, do you love your dog? I'm like, what? I'm like, what kind of question is this? She's like, if you love your dog, you would not put her on a plane tomorrow. I'm like, well, now my dog can't fly. So
That's
now
not the way you say that.
No, what the fuck?
You just go, hey, that's not safe for the dog for X amount of time.
Give me the advice, motherfucker.
Do you love
Ask
your
me if
dog?
I love my
I'm like,
dog.
of course I have a dog. Her name's tattooed on me, and I molest her every night. I don't molest
Can
her
you
dog.
just go check the receipts and see how much money I've given you, and you tell me if I fucking
I love
my
my dog $3,000 so far.
I don't love
literally.
myself $3,000.
Yeah, no shit.
No, literally. So at 10 o'clock last night, once I got her out of the vet, I had to find a dog sitter for 3 weeks. And now I have to drive to Canada.
What are the dates
after
you're driving
Denver
to Canada?
on my own and drive back with my fucking dog. Because now I'm terrified to put my dog on the plane.
Because all I'm saying is like,
What are your Denver
should we
dates?
road trip?
Oh, God.
I'll
your
fly to
Denver
Denver
dates?
if I don't have dates.
I'm in Denver. I leave the 18th. And then that whole week.
You leave to go to Denver?
No, I leave from Denver. I leave from Telluride, the festival, the 18th, and then that whole week I have to cancel a weekend of something. I'm not gonna
What
say
day
it
will
is,
you
but,
be back in LA?
hopefully that week. I'm giving myself a week to get there and back.
I fly back from St. Louis on the 18th. I could fly to Denver the next day and road trip with you if it's only going to be a week.
I fly somewhere on the 23rd.
23rd is what day?
I'm
What day is
free
that?
the 18th to the 23rd.
Are we gonna road trip?
Are we going to road trip to save Susan? By the way,
Oh my
send Get
God.
Well Susan cards to the Comedy Store. Address them to Susan Tolev.
Yeah, here's the thing. She's young. She's doing well. She's gonna be fine. But it was like, are we doing a road trip? Because I'm like, right now we should like actually.
That's 6 days. I mean, I can ask Dave if he can watch my cats.
As long as I can get,
Like we can book shows.
yeah,
Obviously.
yeah. There's 2 days as long as I can find Wi-Fi during the day for my group writing courses. I can make it happen.
We can talk about this after.
We're gonna talk about this after. This is boring.
Right, getting right.
But you guys, if you're in
Anyways.
between Denver and Toronto, keep an eye out.
Yeah,
Maybe we're
you
gonna
might
do some
see
pop-up
us-
shows.
Slobs in the Subaru.
Slobs on the run.
Subaru slobs.
Slobberoo.
Oh.
Hello, we're
there
painting it
is.
pink.
I kind
Please.
of like slobs on the run.
Slobs on the run. Sponsored by Subaru. Maybe? Subaru?
And you guys.
Susan's picture will be the middle of the flyer.
And
little
all the
triangle of our
money
faces
goes
and the
to
Sue
us.
in the middle.
Susan's fine.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding. No,
Also, it was crazy because I like had 3 sold out shows in Toronto, and all of that money is now. It's now in the dog's. It's the dog.
That's
Yeah.
c'est la vie,
Anyways.
as they say on Air Canada.
We should do Sue fundraiser pop-up shows.
I mean, no, I'm not gonna. I hate asking for money. I'm not the kind of person that asks for money.
Well,
If-
no, but you put on a show, you charge for the tickets, and then you pay off your vet bill.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll pay
we
it
do
off.
that.
We'll pay it off.
And all extra money will be split among us for our future animal health funds.
And to pay for the
Yes.
ticket to fly out there. To,
Yeah, there's a
We're gonna go
lot.
to Denver?
Yeah.
The ticket to Denver, I'm gonna get on. You're not going to get on Southwest Airlines. You'll never get on Southwest Airlines.
I won't
Well, you
either.
know.
Fuck that.
Delta.
I do Delta or
You get
United.
free upgrades to Comfort Plus now.
Right, I
Oh,
know.
wow.
Platinum.
I'm
Fuck
also
my nuts.
Yeah.
I also should just always fly Delta. It doesn't matter. This is boring comedy talk.
We're
that
flying
part.
Delta.
Okay. I have
what's
something,
happening?
Yes, I have something else I want to bring up because you want to see. I told you both about this text.
Yes.
So then I'm
message,
then I'm
it
done
was a
talking.
DM,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This DM. So this, here's the thing. I did Ryan Sickler's podcast, Honeydew.
Great podcast.
Very good.
Loved him.
Very emotional podcast. I talked about being raped. I talked about having a horrible relationship with my father.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, this guy. So I need to read this out loud because I have had nothing besides this guy, Stu Smith. I don't give a fuck. You're gonna DM me. You're gonna DM me some bullshit, Stu. You're getting your fucking name
8,000
said.
women who are married to a man named Stu Smith are now going, did you message the woman on my
Dial it
podcast?
down. My God.
There's a middle area where you're too sensitive and I'm too loud and I'm not fully the problem.
There's a middle. So you
I
put it
say
in your earplugs.
in denial. She's putting her earplugs in. We need headphones for this podcast.
I think we might need headphones.
Yells
Yeah.
in my
No,
ear
'cause that would
when
just have made it
talks to me
worse.
about
I'm
middle
sorry.
area.
Anyway, all of our ladies who are married to generic Stu Smiths are now going to their husband and being like, "That wasn't you, was it? That sent Steph that message."
Yes, it was.
STU Gotti 81 is his Instagram. Guess
Should
what,
be.
Stu? You're gonna fucking fuck with me. Sorry.
You want to write in? We'll call you out
We'll
on
call
the
you.
air.
Sorry, Stu. It was a very emotional podcast. You know what I mean? I almost cried about it. Also, I was raped. It's very upsetting to talk about.
It's
Okay.
very. It's horrific.
It's horrific. It's not funny. I don't like talking about being raped as a comedian. It's not also whatever. The amount of messages I've gotten from men saying, "I'm so sorry. We need to do better." Amazing. The amount of women that have been like, "I've also been raped. Thank you so much." Crazy. It's psychotic. Okay.
Yeah, it's
this fucking man, Stu Smith. Hey, just so you know, not every male wants to rape or kidnap you. And the way he spelt rape, we got to zoom in on this. He spelt it with like he got creative with it, like a weird.
he went into
R.
the emojis,
Like, what is that? Like, it's not doesn't
like a
say
fucking
rape.
ransom note.
Was that to prevent him from triggering you?
I don't-
Because the
because it made
content
it
of that
bigger.
message was incredibly
Also,
triggering.
I'm sorry, Stu. Are you a woman? Have you ever been raped? Have you ever been followed? Have you been assaulted? Have you been
Yeah.
harassed? Have any of these things? I doubt
when
these
you
things
walk
happened
to
you.
your car, do you fear for
Read
your
the
life?
message. Read the rest of the
So
message.
he goes, this is the part that fucked me. This kind of negative feminine energy is what causes problems between genders.
Yeah, that's what it is. Negative feminine energy, not raping women.
Not us being scared for our fucking lives. I cannot walk my dog at night because I'm scared of a man fucking insulting me. Fuck you, Stu. That's so sick
That's
and
so
psychotic.
fucking insane.
And then he tries to be nice. Oh, now he's changing a page here. I'm sorry you dealt with complete jerks during high school. What you endured was much more than average bullying. No child deserves it. I'm sorry these POS boys put you through it. Are you, Stu? Because it seems like you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It seems like you think I'm the fucking problem. I blocked him immediately because I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, because you were gonna go crazy.
I was going to go
Because-
crazy. I was going to go
Yeah,
crazy.
and he's not worth your energy.
No.
And by the way, anyone who has that thought you're not getting through to someone who's that fucking
No, no,
stupid.
no, no,
Because
no,
that's
no, no,
fucking stupid. Stu, STU-PID. His name should be spelled STFU because he should shut the fuck up. Sorry.
That's good.
Stupid.
That's
That actually was good. I was like, where else
clip?
is this going? Yeah, let's keep this going.
the audacity to like
the audacity. It's like, it's also like if you have never been, I'm sure every woman listening to this fucking podcast has at some point in their life feared for their safety around a man, whether it was a stranger, whether it was someone they fucking knew, whether they're at a party, whether they're in public,
in their home,
like on the subway. Like there's the amount of times I've had to leave a subway car as a kid because I knew a man was staring at me and kept moving closer. Like it's disgusting.
It's horrific.
It's horrific. So don't fucking come at me. I'm the problem with female energy. No, I'm sorry. He was the problem for raping me. That was the fucking problem. Like Jesus
negative
Christ,
feminine
negative
energy.
If this man ever comes on one of my shows.
Hey, if you could be a little bit more positive about the fact that you're really likely to get raped, that would probably help all of us.
Yeah, we don't feel better about that.
We'd all, if you could just cheer up a little about your horrific sexual assault,
it's so
that would probably
crazy
prevent them.
how defensive men get during conversations that have nothing to do with them.
Well,
just so you know, not every man wants to rape you. I guarantee you didn't say that. No one's ever said that.
No.
No one's ever said every man wants to rape me.
No.
You shared a personal...
every single man.
I guarantee that's so far from anything that was said that it's like, where are you coming up?
Why are you
like
extrapolating
he's just
that?
projecting all of this shit onto you. This kind of negative feminine energy. Nobody's saying what you're saying.
High likelihood that man, and this is going to get me in trouble. There's a high likelihood that man has not even aware of what line he crossed a line with a woman.
Oh, for sure.
And been like, I don't understand what I did wrong. She's the problem.
Yep.
She's crazy.
She wanted it.
Yeah.
Not everyone's trying to fuck you because he's fucking blacked out at a bar hanging all over someone who's disgusted by him.
Yeah. And I just...
Disgusting. I just was
think everyone wants to fuck him. That's the kind of guy who hits on you and then when you say no, it's like, you're a fucking fat bitch.
Yeah, that's exactly. I don't fucking want to anyways. You
nasty
fucking idiot.
fat
Crazy
slut.
that the fucking ugliest girl here is the hardest to talk to. I got that one once.
Yeah. I've had that.
Crazy that the ugliest bitch on this site is the hardest to talk to.
I've always...
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
I don't want to talk to you either. Thank you so much, sir. Like I wasn't here going, no, please me. Like
I have an idea. May I offer stop talking to me as a suggestion?
May I offer get the fuck out of my face?
Go fuck yourself. I would never do this because that's just opening a can of worms. But just once in a situation like that, I wish I could, and it wouldn't be safe. But I wish I could go. Oh, actually, I will fuck you after you called me a big fat nasty bitch.
Right. Has that ever worked?
Well, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
What's your goal? You're fucking insecure fuck.
So I want you to feel rejected.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now I'm rejecting you, but it's like, but you already didn't.
Yeah, and you're like,
we already know that you'd fuck me.
Yeah,
right? And then you're like, oh, you can't even get a fat cunt slut to fuck you. What a loser you are.
That I like.
That's great. You're getting rejected by the most disgusting girl in here.
Wow, how embarrassing for you getting rejected by the ugliest woman
end it all.
on the internet.
I
can't. That, anyways, the rest of the messages have been like super nice and like it is so sad how many people have been like, I relate to this. I'm like, that's fucked.
No, how many people and like the amount of women who've had to deal with it, the amount of women I know who like had to like later come to terms with or realize that like, oh, that was assault because we'll blame ourselves. We'll no, I must have been this or I wouldn't let that happen. And then like years later, you're like, oh my God, like I convinced myself that I don't know if you guys have heard these stories, but I have friends who, no, I convinced myself in a date rape situation. Or here's the thing, I had a conversation with a guy once that like, and I'll say as soon as I explained this side of it, he was like, I'm really sorry, I'm fucking. But the gist of it was sort of this implication that like, oh, believing a woman because it's like, well, that, this woman's not an overtly sexual person. So for that to happen, and I was like, I need to stop right there. And this is literally what I said. I was like, I need to know that sluts get raped too. Like, I need you as a slut, as someone who is openly sexual. I need you to know just because I like to fuck people, it doesn't mean it's free ball game or that no one's going to creep on me because they're like, you think a rapist is going to be like, she's been around the block too much.
Just because I like to fuck doesn't mean I want to be fucked by anybody.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, I think that there's this not gray area of the problem, but gray area of shame that happens with women going, and I don't want to get deep on 2 podcasts in a row, but I'll say this from personal experience of like when I was sexually assaulted, it was by someone I knew, and I was in college, and I was very sexually active in college. It was not a secret. It wasn't like I was the town bicycle, but it was like, you know, he had friends and like we're in sororities and fraternities and like
Yeah, the sorority.
And I told no one for a long time because I was like, no one's gonna believe that I was assaulted, like that I didn't just like do it and then retroactively
and then
be
regret
like,
or something. It's like
he assaulted me, and so I just carried it for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's wild.
No, it's fucked.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. And I also was raped by a friend. And I think that men just have absolutely nothing close to a conception of how many of us are raped and how much it permeates every moment of our lives. We're constantly on guard. I'm constantly, when I'm at home with 3 locks on my door locked, I'm constantly on guard.
Vigilance.
And
Hypervigilance.
one thing that makes me really mad is if I'm somewhere and I don't feel safe and Dave is just like, no, it's fine. Because I'm like, but you don't know. No. Like, you don't have the ear for it that I do. He had a party at the beach on Saturday and I had like my sixth sense. You know, I was like, watch the stuff because we were like loading stuff in. And I was like, watch that guy. Because there was a guy that was like kind of near and they were like, I'm sure it's fine. And I was like, no, watch that guy. And I stood and I watched and he walked over to this stuff and started like sniffing around the stuff. And one of the other guys there yelled at him. And sure enough, he was like, probably going to steal something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe fucking listen to the person who's been watching her back since she was a child.
Yeah.
Like,
It's also like, I can kind of see the one side where it's like they have no idea.
No,
the guy. There's no way a guy's
like, I
ever
understand.
been out like walking alone at night and saw a woman went and crossed the street. There's no fucking way.
To say something like not every man wants to rape you. It's like you have no idea how many of us have been raped and how fucking stupid you sound.
Yeah.
And how like just what a thing to say after openly talking about this on a podcast. It was just so disgusting.
But,
I'm like I've gotten some bad DMs. I think that's the worst one I've ever gotten.
Also, what possesses people to reach out to strangers with just feedback on a podcast? Like
it's a podcast.
Like a criticism of like.
I'm obviously not speaking about like our listeners who are like, hey, thank you for sharing that or whatever. You know?
Or when we specifically ask for feedback.
There's a difference between fan mail and like.
Hey, I wanted to give you some.
Oh, you didn't agree with something someone said on a podcast? Then fucking move on.
Yeah, stop listening to it. If you were repulsed by everything I was saying, don't continue the episode.
Why don't you talk to your friends about? You don't have any friends to talk about it with. Because no one wants to be friends with that fucking guy.
No, the guy sucks.
That guy's. It's just. It's also to go like not every man. If you did a tiny bit of research, you would find that a startling number of rapes and sexual assaults come from a man you definitely didn't think was the guy that would do it.
Oh yeah.
That you're like, oh, but if it does, there's a good chance it'll be someone you trust and don't suspect. So anyway, good luck out there. Keys between the fingers. Hope for the best.
And if you do mention it to anyone else in your friend group, there's a good chance that they'll cut you out instead of the guy.
Because it's a hassle.
Because it's easier.
Awkward.
It's easier. You're newer. It's easier to call you a liar than to accept the fact that their friend
is a rapist.
Childhood is a rapist.
Yeah, and people would across the board, not even in just this type of situation, most people will choose comfort over doing the right thing in terms of social interactions.
And it's also so easy to lie to yourself and just be. I mean, it's just easier to be like, Tony wouldn't do that. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I forgot. Our producer's name is
the name Tony. But I mean, Tony wouldn't do that.
Tony wouldn't do it.
Tony wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but
Tony would never do.
Tony.
But Tony.
All the Tonys that we know.
I know a Tony that would.
Yeah, and we've all met that Tony.
Well, do we know that much about this Tony?
That's real. We can't. Poor Tony.
Poor Tony, yeah. He gets a lot
Justice
of it.
for Tony.
Justice for Tony.
Man.
But that's that. I feel like I came in hot on this podcast.
You did,
I came in real hot. I had some things.
We really gotta. I have funny things. We should do funny things, right?
Well, let's do some funny things because I had some stuff I
what
wanted
did
to bring
you
up.
write
No,
down?
but you have funny things. I just sort of had, literally my first note does say pray for Susan.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Maybe we do my list.
So let's do your list.
Let's cut to a break and then come back and do
the
funny
funny.
stuff.
Hey, we're back and it's funny now.
It's big fat
the funny half.
time.
So Dave, in his sleep
Again.
2 nights ago, always screaming in his sleep, yelling. Did I tell you he punched me in the face? I did.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
No, in your sleep?
Yeah, he took NyQuil. Never again. Punched me in the face in my sleep. Yeah. But
I'll say when you said that, no evidence. A little bit of a weak hook there, Dave.
he got me on the back swing.
Oh, okay, I was going to say
But it was
like a
closed
thing.
fist. It fucking sucked.
Okay.
It was in my eye. But also, then you didn't see me for a week because I had COVID.
Oh.
In any event, the other night, and I wrote it down. He woke. He was like in his sleep. He was like, "Mams, yeah, that's crazy."
Ma'ams?
Mams.
Multiple ma'ams.
It doesn't mean anything.
He was
Mams, yeah, that's crazy.
he was having a dream that he was in like some sort of like judgment court with a bunch of women.
I was like, does he mean like mammaries, like boobs?
Oh, I thought he meant like multiple
I think his
women.
nickname for his mom, man.
I think it's just it's a dream.
Grandma?
I mean, he also like said a bunch of gibberish.
And that's the real juice.
Do you, when he does this, are you like staring at him or are you just lying in bed listening to it?
I'm just lying in bed listening and smiling. It cracks me up every time.
That's so funny.
I just laugh to myself and then I write it down because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to remember that because it's nonsense.
It is absolute nonsense. Are you still?
Am I still what?
Oh, yeah.
What? Am I still
Are you still?
being a person or?
Yeah,
I am still. There's a gentleman who I've been on a few dates with, and
more than a few.
and I like him. He sent me flowers.
He's your
Okay.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's not. Don't say he's not. They're that.
You already told him not to listen, so if he's listening, he's crossing a boundary.
Oh, well,
And he
we
is
don't
your
listen.
boyfriend.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting pretty close. You
And
haven't
he knows it.
no. Okay. Well, let's have a general because this is this is a situation we all at some point find ourselves in the dating world. I will say this.
You guys been fucking for like a month, yeah, right?
Yeah, like a month. Yeah. Hand delivered. You guys, I arrived in my hotel in Hawaii and he asked what hotel I was in. Here's how he snuck it in. He's like, has a friend who lived in Hawaii and he's like, I'll ask them for, sorry, I'm not getting choked up.
Yeah,
There's
you
something in
are
my
getting
throat.
choked up.
In fairness, isn't everything delivered by hand? I mean, it wasn't one of those little robots.
No, but I mean like, I mean that to say it wasn't like the flowers were just there. It was, or
I see
like,
what you mean. There was a
like he
hand on it.
coordinated it with the front desk. There
Might
really
need
is
more
something in
water
my throat
here.
and this is embarrassing.
Also, I just want to say I love the way that you've been single for 2 months and have not latched. You've found a very nice man, and
It's needle in a haystack stuff.
It's great.
But also, is a month long enough to be confident that someone isn't like just really good at hiding the fact that they're a psychopath?
No,
No.
his actions are very different from what a psychopath would do. This is a nice man.
I disagree.
You think it?
I mean, I don't disagree with that he's a nice man.
But are you like
my guard
love
is still
bombing
up.
scary? Is that what your thoughts are?
I mean, I had that experience
Yes.
and it was so horrible that I don't want to project my own shit.
But is that like a
onto
trigger
you.
thing that comes up when you?
But
see
I
stuff
am
like this?
I think it takes time to get to know someone. I'll say that.
Absolutely.
And I don't think a month is a long time. But what we've seen, we like, and we can say that.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yes.
I absolutely agree with you.
But I wouldn't go pick out a wedding dress because it's been a month.
No.
And also, I'm gonna be like in such better shape by the time I get married in like 3 months.
I'm going to be in such
kidding.
better shape. I'm going to be 5 months pregnant.
When I get married, when I get married in December this year. No,
oh
I'm
my
kidding.
God.
I'm
If
fucking-
he's listening to this,
I know,
oh
that's
my
so insane.
God.
I just said it because she said that.
I
Okay,
think you're still. I wouldn't say boyfriend. I think it's still like it's still dating.
dating.
You're dating.
But let's
If he fucks someone else, how pissed would you be?
before we get to that, can I just finish explaining the flowers and then
Yes.
I will get to that.
Sorry.
So he had a friend that lived in Hawaii. He's like, I'll ask them what is cool around you. And I will say, he genuinely asked his friend. He sent me all these screenshots and Google links to like amazing hikes and restaurants and like a lot of stuff I did. And kudos. Thank you to that friend who's probably not listening, but like great suggestions.
Love bombing. He's a narcissist. I'm completely kidding.
But that's how he like asked for my hotel. And then I show up, I check in, I go into the room, set my bags down, knock on the door. And of course my reaction is like, you've got to be fucking kidding. Leave me alone. What is the? I just
had the
got
shit.
here.
The second I get to a hotel room, my shit.
God, would
I
be so
immediately-
I
pissed.
walk in, caca is halfway to my ass.
Yeah,
I'm turtle heading
shit,
in the
shower,
elevator.
masturbate, take a nap.
Yeah, no,
it's
we're
the
shitting.
standard.
Yeah.
And so I was like, is this gonna be a thing where like they think I'm a person who wasn't checked out? Like I was just waiting for it to be a hotel fuck up.
Yeah.
And I opened the door and there's this like sweet Asian woman holding flowers, and she said, I'm just gonna say what she said and not do the accent, even though my instinct was to mimic her.
I was like, you're doing the accent for
Because
sure.
I don't want to one day get fired from SNL or something.
I was really expecting the accent.
I really wanted the accent. I got the accent to begin with on the phone.
Because the accent,
To say do it.
I'm gonna do it, but
Do it.
because, and there's context. It's because I was confused on what
Do
she was
it.
saying.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
the clip.
Yes,
Which
exactly.
probably made it worse. She says flower from, and then she says like the long version of his name because he has a
Yes.
short name.
Okay.
We'll just call him hot guy that I like. And I was like, what?
dork.
And it took me a while. And then I realized, I was like, oh my God, these are from the guy I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And it's just like this beautiful bouquet. And it had a little note that said, thinking of you, have a nice week.
Little note.
Like, and they were beautiful Hawaiian. Did I keep the note? Did I keep a couple flower petals? Yeah, I'm sentimental.
Oh, okay. No, that's where I'm gonna stop. That's where I
But
stop.
that's disgusting if we end up not going any further than this. Then it's like, well, that was a...
No, it's not. You throw them away.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
trash.
Move on.
It's
Never
trash now.
happened. Who's
But let's
flower
talk
petals
about
who?
the gray area of dating. Because that's a thing I think our...
Because here's the thing, I was
female
talking to a
listeners-
guy for 4 months.
Yeah.
Turns out we were never dating, and that is
God,
officially
that
done
guy
now.
sucks.
It's
That
done.
guy sucked
It's
ass.
so done. It's so done. It's so done. But anyways, I had to finally 3 months in go, what is this?
And
Like, what are we doing here? Like,
3 months is a...
it's a long time. Yeah, 3 months is a long time. I was kind of like, I'm like, I feel like, I'm like, are we serious now? And then it was the whole, I don't know, I don't want. I'm like, what have we been doing this whole time?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you. In that
And he would never have done that.
No, that's why I'm so into this guy for
Okay.
you, because I'm like, just looking at what I dealt with for 4 months and what you dealt with in months, it's like, what the fuck? And now it's like what you were looking back from your ex, how you saw these trigger things. I'm like,
Yeah, that
oh
I'm
my
like-
God, there was never him doing nice things to me. He came to see one show, and I'm like, I do shows every fucking night. You can do one set of mine, like,
Yeah, not like inconsiderate, doesn't think of you. And
No.
it's like, then you go, and then you have those moments of like, what was I even
what was I doing?
attracted to?
What was I doing? Because the fact that he's thinking about you when you're not even around is wild.
Yeah.
Especially if we're always complaining about LA and how bad it is dating here. So that's why I'm like,
And it
this
is, I will say, like, despite like the not that long window of time between seeming to find someone who's pretty, like, seems like a great guy, LA is a hellscape. I am like, that's why I keep being like, there's no way I found a guy
He
this
could be a
nice.
really great guy, but that's also why it is good not to be like, oh my God, this is the one. Thank God I finally found
yeah, no.
a decent guy
no.
here, because it's just like, just
chill
time.
and be present.
It is hard. It is hard to be chill when something happens like this. When
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
you get
nice.
excited and it's like fun and romance is fun. And when you're like, you have all the.
I'm excited for you. I think he's a good guy. I mean, it
Have you met
all
him?
looks good. No.
Oh, okay.
No one's met him except John.
I want to. I want to do
Jeremy
a double date
Scipio
with
met
Dave.
him.
Do a double date.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're both into hardcore music.
Oh, I'll just come and be the busboy that night. Hello. Do you need some more napkins?
You could also just cut.
Yeah, I
and
was like,
hang
why,
out.
did,
Just be
yeah,
a group
why
hang.
did you put a mustache on? Why did you put your fingers up? Hello.
Guys, we'd love to have you there.
Yeah, like,
We know you have fake
he
mustaches at home.
knows who you are.
Hello. I was wondering.
Also, the concept of a double
He
date.
saw you live before he ever met me. He's
I
like,
see no reason for there not to be someone who's like, it's not like we're going to be Frenching. you
yeah,
know?
we're not like, sorry, you can't come. We're gonna get fingered under the table and be like going at
This
it.
is a
It's not an
date.
orgy.
Yeah, no, we'd love to have you.
We could also just all hang out.
I'm also gone for fucking weeks on
Yeah.
it. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Or we could just let's
gotta
get
do it
you a blind date in there.
Weren't we going to do
No.
some? Oh, whatever.
This is somebody, a friend. Hook me up.
Feel
Bring
the
a friend
vibe.
along.
He's got a friend that you couldn't date, but I feel like you could have a fun time with.
Why couldn't I date him?
He doesn't even live here, but he's like a nice.
Then
He's
how
a
are they
good-looking
gonna
dude who's a maniac, and he's not well. He's unwell.
Well, this sounds like
Then
my
don't
kind of guy.
refer him to her.
But if you're looking for a
Why are you
non-dating,
setting that up?
sometimes you just want to fuck a
Fucking
person.
mentally ill, emotionally unavailable. That's what she just came out of.
Yeah, but if you know what you're going into, the problem with what she just came out of was he was keeping it gray area for a little
Yeah,
while.
it was
But
big
he was
brain.
giving dating
Is.
vibes.
I think sometimes we overestimate our ability to not develop feelings for
Of course.
dangerous or shitty people.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's like
true.
once you're actually banging somebody.
By the
who
way,
knows
I
what
say
can
all that to
happen
say I'm just
emotionally.
kidding. I would never do that to you. But like, if you know what I would do and maybe this is, I don't know if this is a good or bad friend move.
That?
If I had a guy from the past, you just said bad.
I know I said that.
Yeah. Guy from the past who I no longer have any interest in, but the sex was really good. I would tell a friend, I'd be like, hey,
Oh,
you should
yeah,
get in there.
totally.
You should get in there.
yeah.
Except all the guys that I've had good sex with were just such awful people.
Yeah, but you tell them that too. You go, oh, he's a bad person. But sometimes you would like to just come really well.
I would like to come really well. I haven't had sex in a while. It's been the whole Canada
I
trip
mean, all
was
the guys
wash.
I've had good sex with and haven't ended up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Haven't ended up having like a relation.
And good
Yeah.
good sex changes your whole. I feel like I'm in a manic episode because I have been so consistently not depressed. And I'm like, no, I'm just coming.
That's it.
I'm just having good sex and spending time with multiple people I enjoy. My friends, hot dude, whatever.
I love the way his nickname's Hot Dude. That's a good sign.
Hot dude. I feel like that should be an established rule that it's nicknames
I mean,
only.
that's how the
until-
beginning of a relationship should be. Exciting.
You
getting
should find them
railed all
hot.
the time.
Yeah.
So hot. And that's what I like about this is that, and it's making me realize like just a lot, you realize a lot of things about past stuff or like what you didn't realize you wanted until you felt that thing. But like, I haven't in a long time, and I thought it was just being a free spirit, and maybe it is. But when I'm going to hang out with him, I'm like, oh, I want to look good for him. And that's not a thing. I'm not like, I don't feel pressured to, but I'm like, I haven't given a fuck with so many people that I'm like, yeah, this is what you get.
You know what? I still feel that way with Dave.
They're like, I want to like be pretty. For
I like
you.
that feel. Ow.
Yeah. I feel that way with
She was
him. but-
masturbating and it got caught,
Ow, it
snagged on
hurt.
the lip.
And I don't think I've ever had this before where I still want to like wear makeup and do my hair and look pretty for him, but I also feel completely comfortable
Yes.
being totally dressed down.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're gonna go see him and you think about it and you're like, oh, I want to get like cute.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's like the best of both worlds. Let's talk about for a second, because I did say I wanted to go into that. Like, what is there a standard for? So many of us find ourselves in these situations of, what is this at some point? And obviously I'm pretty early, so I'm not like, what are we? But like, what is the normal, healthy amount of time to feel like you've gotten to know a person enough to really know who they are?
I don't know what for normal people it is. My thing was 10 dates.
Oh, you had like a number.
Oh.
10
Okay.
dates was when
Not a
I
period
was
of time,
willing
but a
to be
number of-
like,
Okay.
let's be exclusive, let's have sex. Although I know that I do that way differently than most
Same.
people in LA.
I'm fucking on the first day all the time. It's a problem. We gotta stop doing that.
I didn't fuck on the first date.
See, it's good.
I waited 10 dates to fuck Dave, and I waited until we were exclusive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dave waited around for this prude? I can't believe it.
Dave hated it. Dave still, if you ask him about it, he's like, I think that was bullshit.
Let me ask you though.
I
Just
gotta
the
agree
sex,
with
but
Dave.
I waited like 5 dates to kiss him.
What?
What?
He kept trying to kiss me.
Don't you want to know? But like, what if he's horrific
what
in
if you-
bed?
What if he's awesome in bed and he's a total fucking piece of shit who treats you like shit? But you fucked him on the first date, and so now you have this strong emotional bond and you love him and you're crying over a fucking asshole, where if you had waited a few more weeks...
Or what if you wait enough weeks that you're like, I really love who this guy is, and it's the worst sex you've ever had?
Yeah.
Or what if you wait 3 dates and the guy stops talking to you because you didn't fuck him fast enough and the trash takes itself out, which often happens.
Or you fuck him the first day and you thought you hit it off well, and then he ghosts you, and then you feel like absolute
You
dog
feel
shit.
like a piece of
which
shit when
has
really
happened.
When that's
maybe he
times.
wasn't even going to call you if you didn't have
Yeah.
sex, but now it feels like it's about the
Yeah.
sex.
Yeah. It's like maybe he wasn't. Yeah,
And it's
that's
about
true.
your naked body.
And now you
instead of
internalize it.
The small talk.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Or him just being having intimacy issues or whatever you'll never know because you
Yeah.
didn't get to know him. I
Or maybe
understand
he's
that.
maybe he's more into another girl he's been seeing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
so you
just
think
never
it's
know.
like I like the number of dates because in my mind, in this conversation, it would be like, what's the allotted amount of like months? But I guess it's like how much time you spend together. It doesn't need to be a.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, because I was gonna say 3-4 months in my head.
Yeah.
Because that's also like if you're talking to them a lot on the phone and FaceTiming stuff like that. But then again, there has been people that I've done that with, and they turn out to be absolute raging psychopaths.
Yeah,
So-
but it's like
Yeah.
you need time to. it's not even like everyone's maliciously hiding who they are, but you need time to really like see fully who someone is, so you know, like, because everyone's, it's dating. You're if you're not like a psychopath, you're putting the best version of yourself forward. But we don't always, like, there's moments where we're not always our best selves, and you kind of need to know, can I handle when this person is in their highest self?
Traffic.
Yes, exactly. And some boxes that I like to check mentally are like, have I seen this person during the day? Have I seen them at night? Have I seen them when they were pissed off? Have I seen them not get their way? Have I seen them in like a restaurant that's too crowded where the wait's long and the service is shitty?
And how do they handle?
How do they handle the wait staff is my number one with
Have
men.
I seen them under fucking stress?
Yeah.
Yeah, because people who are rude to waitstaff get fucked.
I'm not gonna lie to
Anybody
you.
who's just like going on nice dates and having a nice time and getting fucked and getting their way is like
nice as hell.
This is
nice
great.
as hell.
I always look at what they tip. Always. If they pay, I go, thank you so much, and I'll be glancing because I'm like, I've seen guys tip like one time. I swear to God the bill was like $8. He left $2, and I was like, and I went to my bag, and when he was in the bathroom, I slipped $10 bill. I was just so embarrassed, and I was like, oh my God, and that was it. I was disgusted. I was dried up.
I've
never flipped it down too, and I was like, and I flipped it up, and I was like, ever since that I've done it ever since that
I've
day.
never thought to do that, and
I do it all the time.
Now
If I'm not tipping minimum 20, I'm like, I can't be with this person. This is
Yeah.
like so insulting.
It's so fucking, and how
That's mortifying.
It's mortifying.
$2.
Like also that's all those things, like seeing them in all those situations, you don't think of that. And once you do, that's really showing you.
That's mortifying. And there's, I think, a good caring of what other people think and a bad caring of what other people think. Bad caring of what other people think is like not dating someone because they're short, because people will look at you a certain way.
Like, oh yes, like,
good caring what other people think is like, this person doesn't treat people well, and that's fucking embarrassing to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to be with someone who treats people well.
Yeah.
Dating $2 on an $80 tab is mistreating a person.
Yes.
You're mistreating a person.
Yeah.
So
that means they have to pay. They have to tip out a busboy, a food runner, a fucking bartender. They had to pay out of their own pocket for you to have dinner out.
Yep.
That's fucked up.
It's
fucking
psychotic.
shitty. Just the tip. That's what you need to check.
Just
when
the
you
tippity
first start
top.
dating someone.
Also, I do like to see the penis right away because I get grossed out.
Well, it's good to know what you're working with. That's my thing, is that like I don't go in right away.
I just expect a normal penis.
Well, that means you haven't had some wacky ones then.
Well, and also you can always break up with someone. I mean, if you go out on 10 dates with someone and then they have a weird dick and the sex is horrible, okay.
Yeah. Steph, you need to know that if a guy pulls out a weird dick, you're allowed to go, never mind.
Yeah.
I have. And I'll do it again.
I will do it immediately.
I hate that, and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I don't like that, and see you later.
I just would rather be with a good person and find out the sex is bad than be with a bad person and find out the sex is good.
I mean, yeah, we'd all rather be with a good
Yeah.
person. I mean, in an ideal situation, you're with a person who's great and fucks you great. And that's great. Here's what I think, like, real love, your soulmate is the person who that your brain and your heart and your pussy get horny for. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. One reason that I like to wait to get physical is that physical chemistry can be confusing for me. Like, I can then be under the illusion that we have a real connection that we don't have. Whereas if it's all conversation, you find out if you connect. But if you have great chemistry and you have sex and you have great sex, then I would just build up this fantasy of this person and ignore information that's inconsistent with that fantasy.
Yeah, and a lot of us do. Well, your body, your body when you have sex.
And that's just too painful, and it's not worth it, in my opinion. And for some people, like, it is worth it. The pain is worth
the cum.
That rush and that fun and whatever, or they don't get into as much pain over it. I would like get obsessed with someone and then be in so much pain that it's just like
not worth the heartbreak.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. Our bodies release oxytocin when a guy fucks us. I don't know if it's always when they fuck or if it's just when they like hit the right spots, but it's the same reason.
It's not even just you release oxytocin when you like pet your dog and feel
but a heavy amount. That's why you get that feeling of it's the amount that this is going to sound weird to some people who make it weird. You get a dump of it the same way when you have a baby. You get a dump and it's designed to connect you to that thing. And it's like an old like lizard brain survival thing of like, we need a man to protect us. So that happens and we go, I need you here for security. Your brain goes like, attach.
Is that the same way you feel like when you have a really good dump and you're like, oh my God,
same
I'm
thing.
attached to you now. I don't want you to leave.
No.
And you save your little poo balls in a little case.
Oxytocin is like the love hormone.
See you later.
No, you don't let her just believe that. Don't say yeah and then let her go into the world thinking that you get oxytocin when you take a shit. No.
I think maybe sometimes you
Oxytocin
do.
is
if
the
it's a
love
big one.
hormone.
It's
It's
a
a
nice
separate
one.
thing. You get dopamine when you take a shit.
No wipe?
It feels good.
Oh.
No
Look at-
wipe.
When you wipe, there's no shit.
Oh, okay.
No,
Hey,
I'm
man, you
wiping.
don't wipe.
I know there's no. I
It's
go,
like, did you
it's a
just
no
say you-
wiper, and I don't even check.
Tony put up the 45-minute thing, and then Steph says that she doesn't fucking wipe after she takes
Oh,
Jesus
I
Christ.
wipe more than both of you put together. I'm wiping my ass.
I got a tushy.
God
I
damn
tushy
it.
and I wipe my
Of
tushy.
course, I tushy, I wipe, I tushy, and I wipe again.
Yeah, the fact that, by the way, they
What's
try
tushy?
to... It's a bidet. But the fact
Yeah.
that they try to sell it as like, save money on toilet paper. It's like, no, and I'm just
Then I have a-
wiping off a cleaner ass.
Yeah, then I have a wet ass.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you walk with a wet
This is
asshole?
not
You dry the asshole.
skunk butt? Like, that's
Makes me
fucking
sick.
disgusting.
I realized I had it turned down pretty low, my nozzle, though. I turned it up recently. Oopsies.
Oh, it's
we're in
game
there
changer.
now. We're in there. I think I pushed the hemorrhoid back in. Oh, there he goes. See you later. Back in.
Good night.
And good night, nurse. See ya.
Do we have time? It's 12:55. Do we have time to go into like one more question thing, or are you on? You're like on a crunch.
One more. I'm kind of on a crunch.
Because
but
this is what I want to talk about with, in regards to relationships where you are being sexual. And I don't know, like, I don't know if you how quickly. I mean, we know how quickly you and Dave had sex, but like, were you freaks? Here's what I want to know is, I'm fucking horny. I'm like,
Mhm.
And maybe this is a question for like male listeners to give feedback on, which is I'm tempted to say because of all we've talked about today. But when you start having sex with a guy, if you go into this, like you've been on some dates, it's going well in that way, but you go into the sex kind of like really sexually aggressive. Like it's not all intimate, sweet. Like you're like, let's fuck, pick me up, eat me out on your kitchen counter or whatever.
It's very specific.
Fuck me in the shower.
It obviously happened to you
Obviously,
recently.
these things all just happen. Yeah.
Did I accidentally kick on the burner? Could there have been a fire that started and burn the house down? Maybe it was worth it. I would have died in a fire that moment.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. Oh man, just fucking. Whew.
This is all
Okay.
out loud, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
just
Okay.
recounting.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was an accident. I blacked out.
Bring us back to the question
Yes.
here. Let's refocus, please. Thank you.
Does a woman early on going into that type of sexuality, coming in and being like hot slut type
Yes, we understand what type of sex.
such hot. I
Yes.
spent 5 more minutes.
God
For the
no,
love
damn
of
but
it.
listen.
fucking motherfucking God, get to the goddamn question.
Does that change how the man sees the woman? Like, is there, from the perspective of someone
Not
wanting...
for the worse.
No, but I mean, from the perspective of maybe a man who's like, I would like to find a long-term relationship. I'm looking for a wife. Does a woman acting like that early on go, this isn't the one? Does he
If
put you in a
it
different
does,
box?
I feel like
don't know.
that's
That's him fucked up.
yeah.
I don't even know if that's a thing. It was just a thought I had in the shower this
Yeah,
morning.
no, I don't
That
think
means
so.
that he can't equate like a wife with someone who's like freaky deaky.
Which
also,
is
wouldn't you
wrong.
want that?
Which
Would
is
you want your
dumb.
wife to be
Absolutely. I just wonder if there
filthy little
is...
slut?
balls while she's breastfeeding? Yeah,
Yeah.
you want this.
We're all sucking on something.
is so
Fucking
gross.
squirting milk everywhere at
That
the
is
other tip
so
for some reason.
gross.
No, but yeah.
That's disgusting.
You're right. I just wondered if there's a large segment of the
Yes.
population that still has that old social conditioning of like, but that's my wife. She should be.
Oh, if they
And,
do that,
I mean,
they go back to fucking 1901 and fucking
Well, it's nobody I'm fucking. I just was
live in a
curious how people
town.
are. You're
Go to
right.
fucking Utah.
Yeah,
Fuck
go
a
to-
bitch in
yeah,
a
go to-
bonnet.
If you
Speaking
can't
of-
treat
speaking
your
of
wife like
Utah.
a dirty whore, is she even a good wife?
Yes. Let's end on that.
That's the one. That's
When is
the
this
button.
coming out? When do we announce our stuff?
This is in.
Let's
we
put
could,
it. Let's put it
put it-
next week. Let's put
do this
the
one.
next one.
Yeah, on the 5th.
Okay,
We got to
perfect.
get some more stuff in the mix
Labor
here.
Day.
Labor Day. So I will be in Denver at the High Plains Comedy Festival. I'll be Fort Collins first on the September 7th, then Denver High Plains Comedy Festival 8th to 10th. And then I might be doing another secret show close to Denver. DM me. I'm not allowed to talk about it on the 14th. DM me if you live in
The
Denver area that I just mentioned. And then I'm going to be in the Telluride Blues and Brews Festival the weekend after. And then
The
that's
23rd and 24th?
no, this 15th, 16th, 17th.
Oh, I'm fucking looking. Yeah.
16th, 17th. Then I'm going to be on the road with my dog. Me and Susan.
Might be Slobs on the run.
Might be Slobs on the
We'll
run.
see.
Then I'm in San Francisco Punchlines. Anyways, that's a lot. I have a lot. I'm sorry. I'm done now.
No, don't be
It's a lot.
sorry. Are you
We're
kidding?
done.
We'll be in Montana.
We'll be in Montana
Bozeman on the 30th. Great Falls on the 1st.
of October.
September
30th, October 1st.
And I'm in St. Louis on 16th and 17th at a place called Big Daddy's. Don't know what it means.
September?
We love it.
Of September, yes. And then in October, I am in Dallas
Ooh.
from the 20th to the 23rd.
September 23rd and 24th, I'm going to be in Greenville, South Carolina. Then Montana with JMS. And then October... October 20th through 22nd, I'm at Zanies in Chicago.
Woo.
And then October 28th, 29th, I'm at 3 East Comedy Club in Colorado Springs.
Oh, well,
Well, I'll give you some tips and tricks.
Yeah, I've talked to a number of comedians who have done that so far. So I really hope to see you at those shows.
Yeah.
please
Please go to those shows.
tell someone that there's shows going on.
Yeah. There we have it. Please like, subscribe, and
There we
follow.
have it.
And follow us all individually on Instagram if you're not, because that's annoying.
Yeah. Follow us all. Leave a review.
And one more quick thing. I did start doing a weekly radio show.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
You guys can call in. Call in. Oh, yeah. It's a call-in
yeah.
show. So I'm trying to get... I don't know if you guys knew. I don't know if you played this on like public access TV in the States, but there used to be a show called Sunday Night Sex Show with Sue in Canada. Sue Johansson. She was
Sue
like
Johansson,
yes,
the old lady
yes,
who
old
like,
lady.
talks about fucking.
Yes. So I'm trying to like model it off of that, where people call in with their relationship and sex questions and stuff. So it's every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, Monday night 9 p.m. Eastern. You have to download it through AMP, Amazon AMP app, and
app.
It's free, but it's an app, and then you can literally call in, ask random shit. That's it. If you're shitty, Stu, if you call in, I'm blocking you real quick.
Oh, I'm calling in.
No, you're calling in. Call in.
I'm not calling in as myself, though.
No, call in as whoever the hell you want.
Calling in with all my own issues, but be like, I live in West Virginia.
If a guy fucks you and you kick on the burner, will he still marry you? Maybe. Like, all right. Well,
The farm caught on fire. The sheep
That's
are
not
dead.
what I said.
Yes,
no
it
one
is.
take that out of
Caller here.
context.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks
Keep
for listening.
commenting. We like the nice people that comment in.
Pray for Susan and send her
yes,
get well
please.
cards to the comedy
Fucking
store.
pray for Susan.
thanks,
Cut that.
everybody.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Bye.